these logical operators also respect operator precedence, like in mathematics, as we know. So the parentheses, the application of the parentheses. For example, let me test this expression. 1 equals to 1, or 2 equals to 3, and 4 equals to 3. So this should yield to false, this should yield to false, and this should yield to true, which in the end will yield true, because this will do the following. So true or false and false. Okay, so this will yield to true, this will yield to false, this will yield to false. And then what we'll have next is false and false. So and as a priority over the or, and then I'll have true or false, and then I'll have true or false. Of course, will yield to true. You also have here on the course materials the examples of the flow of the code that we just did, if you need also some other resources that you can see. I can change this by putting parentheses. For example, if I wrap these first two conditions in parentheses, what I'll have right now is a false. So a different outcome from what we've seen. Why? Because right now we are doing true or false, that yields to true and false. So the and no longer has a priority because the parentheses make the or having an explicit priority. It's the same as when we do mathematical operations. For example, 1 plus 10 divided by 4, or 4, exactly. So here, although if I take out these parentheses, 10 will be divided by 4 and we will add 1. If I put the parentheses, of course, 11 will be divided by 4, so it's a completely different result because the parentheses change the order of the operation. Here, we also do that with these parentheses. So everything that's inside the parentheses is evaluated first, and if and is outside of the parentheses, it loses its priority, and it's only done in the end, okay? So let's recap this. So I go here, and we have true or false, right? And false. So the and will be done first. False and false will get a false. And then we'll have this expression will all yield to false, but true or false, we've seen that will yield true. But if we put the parentheses, and we can confirm that, so true. But if we put the parentheses, this operation right here, this one, that was evaluated first without the parentheses, will no longer be evaluated first. Now this one will be evaluated first, and that changes the return of the statement from this logical operator. Don't worry, we'll have a lot of opportunity to practice this in the practical exercises. That's where you'll also get more grasp into these concepts right here, and we'll have a lot of opportunity to do exercises around this. Okay, so don't you worry, because of course this is not trivial. It's one of the main concepts in Python that may be a bit confusing at first, but then you'll get the hang of it in no time. So you've seen logical operators and comparison operators. We have only one type of operators left to learn, which is the identity operators. This should be pretty quick. So let's go here for identity. I'm going to just put here the heading, and I'll see you in the next lecture.